Real Country 1430 AM and 1073 FM WRDN. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report. I'm Brian Winnekins from Commodity Classic. Thank you to our Commodity Classic sponsors, including Alcivia Co-op, Compeer Financial, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, and Annabis Silo. I'm with Matt Wagenson. He is a farmer, and he's a vice president of the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board. He's also part of the North Central Soybean Research Program. Say that three times fast. And they had their annual meeting here at Commodity Classic, and we're going to talk with Matt a little bit about that. Matt, thanks for joining us. Well, first tell us about the program. What does the research program do?
So NCSRP is a group compiled of 13 states in the North Central region, and we represent about 85% of the soybeans grown in the United States and represent about 350,000 farmers.
Okay, so what type of research projects does the program do?
So anywhere from plant breeding to germplasm to insects and pests, agronomics and sustainability, and soybean cyst nematodes.
Okay, and so you had your annual meeting. What were some of the things that you had a chance to talk about at the annual meeting yesterday? I'm sure it's plans for maybe this year. Tell us about that.
So we discussed last year's funding and where we're going. August is our next funding period. Just like everywhere else, times are tight, so we had to decide which directions we're going to go in. We spent $3.2 million in research last year, and that's all money from the checkoff from those 13 states.
Wow. Okay, and you were working on all of these different types of projects at once, or were there certain projects that you were working on?
No, we right now we're working on the funding. Right now, in August we'll decide. We'll send up our RFP and we'll decide where we're going to go in August with that funding.
And how important is are these projects for Wisconsin soybean growers?
Extremely important because it's almost like doubling up on our checkoff dollar. Because we're taking some of our checkoff, sending it to the NCSRP, but that money comes back to the UW and supports Sean Conley, Rodrigo Worley, and Damon Smith. And those guys are great researchers that we have in our UW system.
And again, with a lot of these agronomic issues like soybean cyst nematode, these are projects that are designed to help farmers increase those yields and help battle some of these pests and like the white mold and things like that.
Correct. So white mold and like you said, the nematodes, but also things like using AI and developing programs where farmers can put in their field and get results from a, all kinds of information where you'll find better agronomic practices that'll help you close that gap.
We are talking with Mark Wageson. He is Vice President of the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board and also part of the North Central Soybean Research Program. You mentioned the AI and all of this data. Is that something else that the program might look at? Because you can get all this data, but there's also data overload. And unfortunately, I know for myself, I'm nowhere near like Dr. Conley where I can analyze all this data efficiently. So does the program try to look at potentially down the road maybe if something like that to help farmers, because they can have all the numbers and all this data, but if they don't know what to do with it, it doesn't really mean much.
Right. So the AI is only as good as the data put into it, correct? So, but as we move forward with agronomic practices and especially in plant breeding, we can speed up mapping the genome with AI. But again, you have to put good data in. And that's what these land grants are doing. They're building their own AIs. They're not relying on somebody else's. So they build it with their information to get good information out.
Mark, does the program also look at, again, with the breeding part of it? I know one of the things over the years is the amount and quality of that soybean oil inside that soybean. Is that something that is being looked at?
It is. For so long, we focused on yield, yield, yield. As we move towards different supply demand, I think breeding will go towards oil and towards protein. They found that oil generally follows yield, not necessarily with protein. Protein is more affected by environment.
Some great stuff that's going on with the North Central Soybean Research Program. We've been with Matt Wagenson. He is Vice President of the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board here at Commodity Classic. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report.